The World is Flat Theory by Marilyn M.M. DeLong. What is the world is flat theory? The world is flat theory was created by Tom Friedman, who is a columnist for the New York Times. In a video essay created by Jeffrey Hart, quoted Friedman explained that the world of flat theory is the net result of this convergence was the creation of a global web-enabled playing field that allows for multiple forms of collaboration, the sharing of knowledge and work in real time without regard to geography, distance, or in the near future, even language. What Friedman is saying here is that because of the advancement with technology and businesses have had within recent years, everyone is now at a playing field when it comes to globalization. What is globalization? To put it simple, globalization is the process where businesses and people from all over the world are able to work together without the limitation of borders. With the technology advancements over the years, it has been able to consistently be able to easily communicate with others all across the world. Counter-arguments to the world is flat theory. Pankaj Jemawat is an economic and global strategist who disagreed with Friedman's theory. In a TED Talk he recently did, he went over the actual data on cross-border interactions that actually happen. In his studies, he looked at phone calls, immigrants, direct investments, and exports to GDP, and in his studies across the border, each had less than 25% of interactions, with phone calls and immigrants both in total only making up 5%. Pankaj also explained later in his TED Talk, while he looked into data and how things actually worked in the real world, that Friedman has not listed a single data study in his theory, which makes for a heavy critique to Friedman's theory. Globalization's impact on the world. Globalization has allowed humans as a whole to be more connected. Nowadays, you can just grab your phone and search to see what is happening from across the globe, or to be connected with a friend you knew as a kid who's moved away. Before globalization, the way of communication was limited to letters or traveling to an area, which took up a lot of time and resources. Because of the technological advancements, people now can communicate and interact freely as long as they have an internet connection. Globalization's impact on business. Within business, globalization has had a great impact. Ever since the Industrial Revolution, the needs and want for goods have skyrocketed. And with that came great technological advancements that can utilize globalization to meet the needs and wants of the people. However, with the line between companies and governments have been intertwined as countries can dictate who and how things are traded from one country to the next, so there has been a great linkage between the two. But with this, businesses now have a more expansive market and can truly find the best of the best in the fields in order to hire for their business. Positives and negatives to globalization. Positives: employment opportunities, technology advancements, economic growth, and connectivity. Negatives: exploitation, environmental effects, economic inequality, and the digital divide. Real-world effects of globalization. Visually, especially in the first world countries, it is very easy to see the impact globalization has had. In an article for Future Learn, where it's talked about the impact of globalization, they quoted that globalization allows us to trade freely and work together as one planet. Whether it's large corporations boosting local economies overseas by investing in resources or products, or countries agreeing to work together against climate change in the Paris Agreement. Globalization enables us to work together for the greater good. Personal take. While I do believe that globalization has in theory given places more opportunities for people and businesses to connect with one another, I personally do not agree with Friedman's take on the flat theory. The way Friedman describes his flat theory is that every country is on an even playing field, which it is not. Globalization has caused for first world countries to abuse third world countries' laws and can exploit them for their benefit. If it was a true even playground like Friedman suggests, there wouldn't be the vast economic disparity that currently exists between countries. Recap. Friedman's world is flat theory is everyone being on the same playing field when it comes to globalization. Gemma argues that the world is not flat and the impacts of globalization is distorted and people's perception of it is skewed from the actual data. With globalization, there's a lot of negatives and positives that impacts individuals, businesses, and countries as a whole. Final thoughts. While there has been waves of the flat theory to exist, at its current state it's not true. With time and development, globalization will become more popular, and if we work together and work on improving everyone, we can make things an even playing ground for all. Thank you for coming to my presentation, and here are my sources.